Ladies and gentlemen, most people think failure shows up loudly. They expect it to roar, to shout, to announce itself with storms and chaos. But the truth is far more dangerous. Success is rarely destroyed by big disasters. It is murdered quietly, not by earthquakes, but by termites, not by explosions, but by erosion, not by enemies, but by the silent forces living inside us and around us. Tonight, I want to expose the 7 silent killers, the invisible assassins that steal dreams, drain potential, and suffocate greatness long before the world sees what happened. If you've ever wondered why some people work hard yet never rise, why some have talent yet never break through, why some start strong but finish weak, the answer is hidden in these silent killers. And once you learn to identify them, you will finally understand what has been holding you back and how to break free, rise higher, and walk boldly into the life waiting for you. The quiet saboteur, hidden doubt, that eats vision from the inside. There is an enemy that does not shout, does not argue, and does not confront you openly. It hides beneath your confidence, rests quietly under your intentions, and waits for the right moment to whisper into your heart. This enemy is hidden doubt, a silent saboteur that destroys dreams long before life ever challenges them. Doubt is dangerous not because it is loud, but because it is gentle. It does not crash into your life like a storm. It seeps into you like a slow leak. You do not notice it in the beginning. It begins with small questions. Are you sure you can do this? What if you fail? What if you are not ready? These questions feel harmless, but they are seeds. Seeds that, if allowed to grow, can wrap around your destiny like vines and suffocate your dreams. Doubt always attacks the root of vision. It knows that the moment you believe fully, deeply, and unshakably, you become unstoppable. So it works in the shadows, quietly weakening the foundation of your faith in yourself. You begin to second-guess your decisions. You hesitate where you used to be bold. You shrink where you once stood tall. Greatness begins within, and so does destruction. Doubt does not kill suddenly, it erodes slowly. Day by day, thought by thought, hesitation by hesitation. It removes the fire from your ambition, dulls the sharpness of your focus, and weakens the courage that once lived in your spirit. And because it works silently, many people never realize that the reason they stay stuck is not the world outside them. It is the doubt inside them. Hidden doubt is like a shadow that grows longer the closer you walk toward your dreams. When you take one step forward, it whispers that you should step back. When you begin a new journey, it reminds you of old failures. When you lift your head with hope, it tries to bring it back down with fear. But understand this truth: doubt cannot stop you unless you agree with it. Doubt has no power unless you give it permission. It has no voice unless you amplify its whisper. It cannot chain you unless you hand it the key. To overcome doubt, you must learn the discipline of inner command. You must train your mind to align with your vision, not your fear. You must choose your thoughts the way a gardener chooses seeds, carefully, intentionally, and with full awareness of what they will produce. Your inner belief is the birthplace of your outer breakthrough. But belief is not automatic. It must be cultivated. It requires daily feeding. It requires surrounding yourself with voices that lift you, not ones that belittle you. It requires speaking life over your future, even when circumstances look barren. It requires remembering that every great achievement in history began with a heart that believed something others could not see. Hidden doubt may whisper, but your conviction must roar. The moment you speak with certainty, doubt loses its power. The moment you take action despite fear, doubt weakens. The moment you refuse to dwell on negative thoughts, doubt dissolves. You overcome doubt not by waiting for it to disappear, but by moving forward while it tries to hold you back. Success is not reserved for those who never feel doubt. It belongs to those who refuse to let doubt control them. There will always be moments when doubt knocks at the door of your mind, but you must choose who you allow inside. Do not let the quiet saboteur sit at the table of your destiny. Do not give it a voice in your decisions. Do not let it eat the dreams that were meant to feed generations. Rise above it. Declare your vision. Strengthen your inner belief. Stand firm in the purpose planted in your soul. Because when belief takes over the throne of your heart, doubt becomes powerless, your vision becomes unstoppable, and your destiny becomes undeniable. The comfort trap that smothers growth without you noticing. There is a prison more dangerous than walls, bars, and locks. It is a prison you cannot see because it looks safe, it feels warm, and it feels familiar. This prison is comfort, and it silently kills more destinies than failure ever could. Comfort is deceptive because it never announces its intentions. It never tells you, stay here and your life will shrink. It never warns you, remain still and your purpose will die. Instead, it softly invites you to relax, to settle, to stop stretching your faith, to stop demanding more from yourself. It says, you've done enough for today, even when you haven't. It says, you can try tomorrow, even when today is the moment that matters. Comfort is the enemy dressed as a friend. It allows you to feel good while your potential quietly wastes away. It gives you pleasure while it steals your progress. It keeps you calm while it kills your calling. And the most dangerous thing about comfort is not that it keeps you still, but that it convinces you that stillness is enough. Greatness is never born in comfort. No vision has ever grown inside a relaxed soul. Every breakthrough, every transformation, every rise to a higher level has always come from someone who was willing to step where their comfort did not follow. Growth demands discomfort, stretching, and sacrifice. Comfort demands nothing and gives nothing significant in return. Comfort shrinks your thinking. It makes you choose what is easy over what is necessary. It convinces you that repetition is progress, even when repetition is just survival. Comfort whispers, stay here, at least it's safe. But safety is often the very thing that suffocates purpose. If a seed stays safe, it will never break the shell. If an eagle stays safe, it will never learn to fly. If a person stays safe, they will never touch the fullness of their destiny. Comfort kills slowly. It keeps you living the same year again and again while calling it life. It keeps you dreaming but never doing. It keeps you wishing but never working. It keeps you planning but never progressing. Most people don't fail because they lack talent. They fail because they choose comfort over calling. Comfort is the silent killer that makes you tolerate smallness. It makes you accept less than you are capable of. It makes you justify mediocrity. It convinces you that average is normal. But there is nothing normal about wasting the greatness placed inside you. The moment you choose comfort, you stop growing. The moment you stop growing, you start dying emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and financially. Life moves, and if you do not move with it, you are left behind. You must learn to see discomfort not as punishment, but as invitation. Discomfort is the language of progress. Discomfort is the sign that your soul is expanding. Discomfort is the proof that you are stepping into unfamiliar territory, territory where growth happens, where strength is built, where destiny is forged. Your next level is always waiting outside the door of your comfort zone. To escape comfort, you must cultivate courage, courage to enter new environments, to face challenges, to endure temporary pressure for permanent transformation. You must train your mind to embrace the unknown, to welcome stretching, to desire growth more than ease. When you break free from comfort, your life begins to multiply, ideas awaken, strength increases, opportunities appear, doors open that were invisible before, your spirit rises with new energy, your purpose begins to breathe again. Because growth is not found in the familiar, it is found in the unfamiliar. You are not called to live a small, comfortable life. You are called to live a meaningful, impactful, growing, expanding, rising life. So break the chains of comfort. Step out in faith. Stretch farther than you have stretched before. Because everything you desire, everything you dream of, everything your future is calling you to become, is waiting on the other side of comfort. Invisible delays. the subtle procrastination that pretends to be logic. Among all the silent killers of success, none is more deceptive than procrastination. Not the obvious kind that says, "I'm too lazy," but the subtle kind, the one that disguises itself as wisdom, logic, and caution. This is the most dangerous form, because it convinces you that you are making the right decision, while quietly stealing the most valuable resource you will ever possess at time. Procrastination doesn't always say, "Don't do it." It often says, "Do it later." And later becomes a month becomes a year becomes a lifetime of regret. This silent killer knows how to dress itself in convincing arguments. It tells you, "Wait for the perfect time." But it never tells you that the perfect time does not exist. It says, "Wait until you feel ready." But readiness is not a feeling, it is a decision. It says, "Be patient." But patience without action becomes paralysis. Invisible delay is deadly because it feels responsible. It feels smart. It feels like preparation. You tell yourself, "I'm not procrastinating, I'm planning." But planning without execution is simply a beautifully decorated version of stagnation. This killer hides behind phrases like, "I need more research. I'll start when things calm down. Let me wait for better conditions. I have time." Yet time is the one thing you do not have control over. Every dream has an expiration date. Not because the dream dies, but because the season changes. The door closes. The energy fades. The opportunity moves on to someone who had the courage to act while you were waiting. Invisible procrastination eats your destiny in small bites. It does not strike suddenly, it steals gradually. It takes one day, then another, then a week, then a month. And before you know it, you look back and realize you are standing in the same place, holding the same vision, speaking the same words, while others have moved ahead with less talent, but more action. Success does not belong to the smartest, the strongest, or the most gifted. It belongs to those who act imperfectly, boldly, consistently. Invisible delay kills momentum. Momentum is powerful. Once lost, it is incredibly difficult to rebuild. When you delay today, you also weaken tomorrow. The fire inside begins to dim. The urgency fades. The passion cools. That is how dreams die, quietly, without announcement, wrapped in the soft blanket of someday. To defeat invisible procrastination, you must develop the discipline of immediacy, the discipline of doing now, the discipline of taking the first step, even if you do not see the entire road, the discipline of deciding that action is more important than comfort. The truth is this: you will never feel fully ready, fully confident, or fully knowledgeable. Readiness is born from action, not before it. You learn by doing. You grow by moving. You become capable because you started while you were still unprepared. Every life-changing decision requires a moment of boldness. One moment where you silence the voice that says, "Later," and listen to the voice that says, "Now." Ask yourself, how many opportunities have I delayed? How many ideas have I buried? How many moments have I missed because I waited for a feeling that never came? The silent killer of delay thrives in minds that are afraid of the unknown. But the unknown is where life expands, where new seasons begin, where miracles occur. Step into the unknown. Do not